All right. What's up, everybody? Connor Ferguson here with Eric Bridger for another episode of the Always Race Day podcast. Once again, presented by Chris Weiser and the fine people affiliated with, or I guess it's Chris's company. So the Weiser companies. And big shout out to them. I don't have like an ad read or anything, but super nice guy. Fantastic piece of the sport of sprint car racing and the stuff that he was able to do early in his career and what he's been able to build with it. I don't know if he wants that story out there. We'll tell it someday on the podcast. The thing he told to me right at the beginning when I met him. So if we do get to tell it, it's a cool story. It's not a big deal or anything. But we did that drunk episode at Dingus, and he didn't bring it up, and I like teed him up for it. So I didn't really ask him about it or anything, but no, thank you guys for waiting us out. Eric so I'm sorry. I don't think we can count you as the most guest appearances anymore. You're just kind of co-host now.
I think I'm stuck.
So I don't think it'll matter until like 6 years down the line and someone's pissed off. Maybe Tony Ross is pissed off that Tasker Phillips has beaten him out for the most podcast appearances. We'll get to that. I'm just giving them crap. It didn't mean anything by it. I am turned around backwards post bachelor party weekend and went to the doctor yesterday, and the leg is just not healing fast. So I basically got a 6 more weeks of winter. I had planned on, and we will be at Late Model Nationals. I confirmed that on Friday of the bachelor party. What day the wedding was of the party we were going to. And so we will be at Late Model Nationals. My plan had been hopefully to be kind of walking by then, and like Saturday we'd do the last infield beers and I'd start walking for it. But I definitely can't anymore. So Eric, how you been? How's it going?
Good. Been a busy week. Watched a little racing over the weekend and had a lot of season championships, it seems like, and we got a couple more season championships coming up this weekend at Huset's. So I look forward to watching that, and also the start of college football season. So we'll have both the perfect time of year, football and racing on at the same time.
Yeah, we got treated to a fun game on Saturday with Iowa State and Ireland. It was weird as hell watching as a fan. I'm not gonna lie. I did a lot less thinking than I normally do. My group of friends, we ended up at this bar and sat outside. And of course, the biggest obstacle is getting the crippled kid anywhere. And I was late getting there because they told me to go downstairs. And they're like, "Hey, we're gonna get in the car." And I'm like, "Let's watch the first drive at least. It's our car. It's a rental car. We could wait till the first drive is over. I'm down here. The game is kicked off now. I don't want to leave the TV." But we ended up at this bar, and we were just sitting there watching on 3 different phone screens with 3 different timings of when the stream was, and mine was always the last one. I think I plugged my phone in at halftime, or had my buddy JP go do it. And the phone that I inherited as the backup phone was also dead last in time. So I kind of just sat there, took it in. I had the same like tendencies of thinking it, but I was more just proud. Like my buddy Taylor Mauser looks like a genius, and he is a genius. I should say that. But super happy for him. But we should probably talk about racing since we're finally got to get Sawyer Phillips's wing in the background here, just because
proper background for a podcast now. You're rocking it.
I try to put it on the desk on the island, and like I'll sit here if it's just like a normal thing, or we got stuff up there, but like I can't move anywhere with the legs. So someone's going down the street real loud. My podcast mic is somewhere around here. I did not want to crutch around and find the crevice that I put it in a month ago, and I lost it. So without further ado, we should hop into things. Corey Day. I think that's where I want to start. I think the biggest sprint car race of the weekend. We're kind of I don't want to say we're a sprint car show first, because we're not. We're a dirt racing podcast. But Corey Day wins the Gold Cup. It was rubber down before the halfway mark. And I know everyone affiliated with High Limit is going to be pissed about that, and they're going to go work their asses off to try and, you know, fix that for next year. You can't. It's kind of hard to do it in the grand scheme of things. If it keeps happening, I guess the answer is to get more dirt. But yeah, I know Brad is ticked about that because I've seen him talk to is the owner of or the promoter, I should say, of 34 Raceway when they were down there, and I'm waiting to do the interview, and they're kind of looking at me. I'm like, you guys talk, like, don't let me interrupt your time. And they talked for 5 minutes, and graciously enough in front of me, so I could listen and kind of learn stuff and about what they want to do at the track and different ideas they had. And they ended up not going back to 34. That was a shock to me because it seemed like both of them wanted to work together more. And things change, plans change. But yeah, I had a 10 milligram THC drink Saturday. So it was about hitting me when the rubber came. And I was like, oh, yeah, that is rubber. And then like 5 laps later, I realized it again.
Yeah, well, they have 4 days of straight racing between the 360s and the 410s. Even though I'm not 100% sure if they can continue with the split qualifying nights because the field size is pretty small, especially on Friday night. I think they had like maybe 29 to 30 cars, so it's pretty tough. I mean, you do have cars that dropped out, so yeah, I mean, it's always tough to have rubber. It's very interesting to see them start the feature on Saturday night because you could definitely tell the track was pretty wide and the bottom was kind of narrow as it had been. But I think you kind of play devil's advocate. Do you dare do a full rework and hope the track widens out by lap 20, or do you try to like partially touch it up, or you just try to let it run? And then I think they decided to let it run, and it just turned out to take rubber, unfortunately. So it's tough, especially that type of race that's paying 6 figures for a sprint car race. That's a lot of money on the line. So it's it would have been nice to see a little bit better feature, but it was very hot as well too. So I mean, nobody can have a perfect racetrack at times, but this kind of sucks. It happened at the big night of racing.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I want to. This is where I think about like the split field thing. You tell me where I'm wrong. I don't see any reason that it doesn't work aside from like I thought the Thursday field had less names. That's really frankly um the only negative I saw to it. I didn't think anyone's format or anyone's points were really screwed up. I like the point system they were going with. I didn't hear the same complaints that we hear at Huset's or that we hear at that track with that dumb, stupid ass wheel over in Ohio. And I thought it worked well for the most part. And I can't like thinking about it. And I was trying to party. I was crutching for 2 miles is actually what I was doing. I was not able to get drunk, but I was going to save that for the Bobby Pierce reference. But yeah, there wasn't anything that I can put in my mind where they got to go different with the format. Is there anything like that drivers would want the full field each night or something like that?
I mean, I guess for the fan aspect, I mean, it's I don't know if I'm paying full price for a ticket, whatever that's
Oh,
50 or
you
40.
want to see the best every night? Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do a split field, you want to see at least like a A and B main. You don't want to see a qualifying 3 heat races and an A main. I mean, it's just no fun as a fan. So, no, as a
Okay,
driver,
okay. So
yeah,
I was
yeah,
out on what you were saying.
yeah,
I'm sorry, I
yeah,
had a
yeah,
revelation.
yeah.
I had that at
Especially
360 Nationals.
especially when
Um,
you're paying for California prices. I mean, 360 Nationals is a little bit cheaper, I feel like, but yeah, I mean,
yeah.
360 Nationals is getting tough too because I mean, well, they have like what 90 cars maybe. So I mean, that's you, and I think I don't know if that's a downtrend of 360s coming up or this is an off year, but I mean, if you want to have a full blown experience, I feel like you at least need to have like an A and a B feature to justify a split qualifying night. And I get it; they're trying to do the tradition of the Gold Cup. And I think when the Outlaws ran it, it wasn't a split field. If I remember correctly. It's been a while since the Outlaws run it. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like if you want to present a full field in a big event, you just got to have enough cars to do it, which is kind of tough. It's kind of tough. I feel like California just has enough cars for it, and then if a couple drop out, it just makes it worse, kind of bad.
Yeah, and it's tough with who and what cars go where,
Hmm.
in the cars that decided to stay in the Midwest and stuff like that. And, to make that trip out there, knowing that that series is leaving and the other one is coming, I thought I'd rather go race Gold Cup than Red River Valley. And no shot to Red River Valley. But that's if you're a true outlaw team and you even want to touch California, because then your travel out there is a lot more than it'd be to A, North Dakota, B, anywhere else. So I don't know. I thought for the most part, like I don't think they should change it, but I can see where you're coming from with that full field thing. Cause yeah, I did a 360 nationals race with my work buddies and took one night off from nationals like before it was our biggest 10 days of the year. So we were really tiny. And the racing got over at 9:15. It was green flag throughout. And the A main was pretty average. And I'm not complaining there was a lack of wrecks. Trust me on that. But like the race is getting over at 9:15. I think I had 5 beers and I was going fast. So I was pissed about that. But no, I thought it was, big win for Corey to get 3. And then at Southern Oregon the other night, I thought he was gonna run it up and get another one. He looked probably better than he did on Saturday and kept going by guys and making his car faster than anyone else's on the track. And then Justin Sanders did the same thing coming from the back. And I've been really impressed with him and how good of a car they've had at this point in the year. And him staying on with that team. And Aaron's got the same leg thing I got. He got 6 more weeks of winter. I don't know what his dateline is, but something in the air. Damn, we'll
Yeah.
blame the groundhog. I write this down so I didn't have to do this, but I am doing Carson Macedo getting another World of Outlaws win at Red River Valley. This is just to stay on sprint cars, but doesn't mean a lot this late in the year. I've always been a guy that the standings mean everything until the last weekend of the year. Then you can kind of say it's over. And the older I've gotten, the less I've been bullish on that. But him and Sheldon Haudenschild put on a damn show on the last lap there.
Yeah. Yeah. Carson's definitely found the groove the last couple of weeks and he's done very well. He did well at nationals and he's done well the last couple of races by winning. And wins create wins sometimes, and that seems to be the case. So you can't help but think what might have been if he didn't have that incident during the off season, coming off that broken foot, or broken leg, I think it was. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if that had hindered any of the performances early in the year, but they've definitely found their stride this year so far, and have been riding the momentum a little bit. So maybe it's the paint scheme. I don't know. Maybe they're just going to keep the paint scheme for the rest of the year and do well. So
it's harder to see.
Yeah, it is harder to see. I mean, out of all the all ball cars, it's kind of hard to see, but it's not my money.
Yeah, no, I think it was either at Oski, I was watching them on TV, and I was like, that blends in with the track really well.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been Jackson the week after, but no, and Carson's had a couple of those, and I didn't see Carson before the season started this year. But the last one he had, the middle of 23, I want to say, that was hurting him. You could tell, he's like, hey, can I go get ready before we do this interview? And he's like, it's going to take me like 15-ish minutes. And I'm like, yeah, I figured that out when you limped out here, walked all the way over here to tell me that. But, and I like laughing at Carson because he's such a genuinely super nice guy. And can't wait to see what they put together. Obviously it'll come back at nationals next year to be like, how do you take that step? But to have another season with 10 wins and to get these has been 3 of the last 5 or something.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. Yeah, he's definitely caught fire after nationals. I think he won Jackson and then the Dakotas. So yeah.
Yeah,
or Ogilvy or something like that.
it was he swept Minnesota. I think it was Ogilvy.
Ogilvy and Jackson.
For sure. I did have the high limit race. Brent Marks won the high limit race the other night, if you guys didn't know. That's
Nothing
Southern
like
Oregon.
a Posse guy won it out West Coast. I think that's his first win of the year in high limit.
Third one of
Okay.
high limit, but big for him to win it on the West Coast. He said we typically suck out there. I think that was his quote, which I love the guys that will. I think late model guys have more drivers that will like just throw it out there like that. There's plenty in sprint car. I'm not telling anyone to talk more or anything, but no, I enjoyed that from Marks. I thought Tanner Thorson with another podium, and he's sneaking up. He's up to 4th in the high limit points. Like, I don't know if you asked either of us in April, because he started off the year pretty bad, right? Am I remembering that right?
Or I think you're still
taking into account last year.
Still trying to figure out that coil over car, and I feel like they got in the groove on that. And it's different than what everybody else runs. And when it seems like when they have it right, he's a rocket ship, and when they have it wrong, it's just 20th place finish or something like that.
Have you seen his hard charger stat? He's got like 13 this year, I want to say.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I know it's 12 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely seems to be, once he makes the A bang, he definitely goes forward. It doesn't really go backwards, or just stays where he's at. So
yeah, and I think it's a huge success story too for him. Of the guys that I wouldn't consider him a real like non-wing vet that came over, but all the non-wing guys it took them a while to pick up and even get to where they are now. And I still think they aren't there yet, but I shouldn't say not there. Not where Tanner's at. And he's taken it with flying colors, especially the back half of the season, and just put his head down. And, there's a benefit of luck to it. I'd always rather be lucky than good, right? But so you had 2 guys get hurt, and you're taking those spots in the driver's standings. But 4th in a national tour to the 3 guys you're running behind that's probably the best that team could hope for going into the year.
For sure.
So exciting stuff on the sprint car scene. Ryan Tim stays hot. Won both 360 races in Montana, and then came back to Houston and picked up that one on Sunday. So someone didn't like that we had the tweet the Sunday before that I said for the first time since his nationals when he's back in victory lane. They thought I was implying that he was on a drought, and I'm just trying to make the fucking tweets different. So sorry about that. If you guys are ever offended by a caption in a results tweet, that is the only reason that we're just trying to make it sound different.
How dare he not win the weekend after nationals? Shame on him.
He had like a full 2 races in between. It's crazy. It's one of the biggest droughts of the season for him.
Went out there and showed Haferteef how to be fast and win, and then they trucked overnight. And I did the Google Maps on it. It was about a 10-hour drive from Big Sky Speedway to Houston, so they definitely did some overnight trucking and took some more money at Houston. So pretty good weekend for him. Not bad to sleep all 3 nights that they raced at.
How much do you think you worry about money as a team after winning the Knoxville Nationals? So how many people on the team worry about money? And is it just 1 or is it 3 to 4?
I mean, it's.
I know it's different from a national level too, and that's still. I mean, that's a Knoxville team, right? As far as they were considered going in.
I mean, winning $195,000 is pretty nice, but it only goes so far in sprint car racing. So
right.
I mean, that can be spent pretty quick. So
it's not the million.
No, it's not the million. I mean, million. That's different. That's definitely you're putting money in the bank from it to save for the future if you're a driver, probably. So
we finally did that interview. I saved like 3 million questions for Logan for that infield years, and it took 3 years for Logan to be at a race when I had a
Yeah.
cameraman to do it and beers available.
Yeah.
In a race that made sense to do well enough to do it. So
Yeah. I mean, taking, usually it's what, 50-50 on driver owners. I don't know what it is. I mean, it varies. Sometimes it's, 40-60 or 30-70, but I mean, you say it's 50-50, you're taking home $500,000. That's different than taking home, $100,000. So, I mean, $100,000 is nice for a driver, but I mean, that only goes you so far. It's $100,000 nice for a car owner, but that's if you're spending 70-80K on motors, well, there's one motor. So,
hey, were the 360 motors, they were that 70-ish. They were in the 70s when you were still in 360s, right?
maybe for the top end one. I mean, you could spend 70 if you wanted to. So,
Right. I figured you weren't.
yeah. Yeah.
That
No,
was
there's no $70,000 being spent.
we
So,
still got to fix. Can I do? I should grandstand on that because I don't think I've heard enough people do it. We got to figure out what these engine builders are taking to build these motors, and why the hell a 360 motor costs the same as a 410. We can't have that in this sport. It's going to kill the essential stepping stone into the big cars that we race, that we all acknowledge are dangerous and we all acknowledge are really badass and have, I shouldn't say way too much, but an unreal horsepower to weight ratio in the cars, right? So I want less kids learning in the back of 410 fields at Knoxville and more of them learning in a 360 somewhere coming up or in a 410 at a track that they're testing on or a lesser profile race. And I'm not calling people out. I'm not saying don't do that. Gage Polkerbeck looked real bad early in his career and he's made some mistakes this year too, but he's getting better, right? And there's been some bad wrecks with him and I don't want to call him out alone, and I'm not trying to do that here, but you have opportunities for guys to learn and they look at this and they go, wow, so if I just spend the same amount of money, I can get the engine for the car above and not the 360. I'll just go race 410s. And that's what they're going to do. And 360 racing is going to need all the help it can get, like the people at the Knoxville Booster Club and what they do for that class there is incredibly unique around the country. And it's the reason that 360 racing is only really that big in Knoxville and that big out on the West Coast. So I don't know. At some point, we got to fix stuff.
yeah, I mean, I don't think you're gonna be able to like parts.
I know. I did the hey, I'm
Yeah.
getting the snowball rolling in the hills
Yeah.
uphill. So it's
Yeah.
just probably going to come back down. But
Yeah, that's gonna be tough to do. So,
I don't know. I just figured I'd throw my bitch out there.
I mean,
It's a
not
relatively nice show for me. I didn't have much to complain about, and I wanted to
yeah,
throw it.
not everybody in Knoxville, buys $70,000 motors. I mean, there's people who buy, 40 or 30 or whatever. I mean, used and all that. There's different ways to get it. I mean, and there's different ideas of what you want to do racing wise. So,
Oh, yeah. Got a
racing.
360 racer on my koozie. I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, racing 360s and 410s is not a bad deal. But I mean, if you're looking to start up beyond, I mean, 410s isn't probably about the best route you're going to go to.
Absolutely. All right, Knoxville. Austin McCarl wins the 410 track championship. Jay Kinder won the Pace Pro. That's been wrapped up for
2 months.
Since week 2 of the season, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Congrats,
definitely
Jay.
been on the roll.
Super dominant. I only did it in this order so I could mention. God, I'm gonna get his name wrong. He followed me on Twitter too. Sorry, is it Lance or Lane?
Oh, Lane. Luke Lane. Is it Luke
Yes.
Lane? Yep.
Yeah. Congrats to him. He did a shoey in Victory Lane. So I haven't talked to him. I haven't interviewed him. And at this point in my career in sprint car racing, like when I go up to someone I haven't talked to before, I say sorry. Because I haven't interviewed Justin Peck. I think the intern who was with us last year at Nationals and the intern with us this year at Nationals both went and interviewed Justin Peck while I went to the press conference. Are you refilling my beer? You didn't have to do that. My roommate's refilling my beer capacity over here. I was gonna get a water, but
Okay.
I can't crutch a water in a cup over here, but I can crutch a couple Busch Lights in my pocket. But he got these for me. So, but no, that the Shoey was cool. I'm gonna at some point go talk to him. Hey, if you're listening to this and you're gonna be at Late Model Nationals, come talk to me. We'll do a fun little video or something. We'll think of something cool. 360s, Tasker Phillips. I got his wing standing over there in the corner. I want my buddies on my walls of my apartment. Cool thing I wanted to do, but so 360. Tasker Phillips won the 360 championship, and then Tony Ross had a real big call out of it, and I think it only got a little bigger when Tasker's team owner Jody reached out to Tony and just told him it was uncalled for and stuff. And Tony basically the tweet first said everyone's favorite farmer races like that and takes people out, and it was amended to say everyone's favorite track champion takes people out and races dirty, essentially. And he said he wouldn't want to have a room full of trophies if he races like that. I want to know what you think, Eric. I think this is. Oh, actually, I should probably just let you think. I can't.
I mean, you got the right rear sent to him. I mean, he's either going to stay in the gas and get wrecked or lift and stay for another lap. I mean, unfortunately, that was just the cards that Tony was dealt with. I'm guessing that Tasker probably thought he had enough momentum to pass him with it, but unfortunately, the right rear was going pretty much to look like Tony's cockpit. So I'm sure it wouldn't be a fun ride. And I don't think Tony's going to have Tasker on the Christmas card list, and I don't think Tasker's going to have Tony on the Christmas card list. So
we'll put them both on ours.
Yeah.
Now I have
Connor's special. Now you get Christmas cards.
Yeah, that's just made something for me to do.
Yeah. Do you want to be on the podcast later? Thanks, Connor.
So I said all that stuff to say Tasker's my friend. I didn't see the pass live. I went back and watched it, and it's it is what it is. I'm not defending Tasker. You're saying
360s are momentum base, and it's a short race, and it's hard to pass. I mean, everything's hard to pass, but
would you say a slider like that is more dirty in a 360 race than it is a 410?
No, I'm just saying that the 360s, you got to keep your speed up because it's harder to get your momentum up.
Oh, okay. I was
reading 410, you can get the momentum up. So, I mean, like 360, you have to like keep your momentum. So, I don't know. I mean, he maybe even saw him until the last minute. I don't know. I'm not in the driver's seat, so
I've never been in the driver's seat, so really I can't have anything wrong to say.
Well, I was just talking about in the moment. I mean, things happen fast too.
I'm just trying to one up your.
Yeah. I mean, you have Ross and Phillips basically had a split-second decision on what they're going to do. So I mean, it's tough to deal with it. So
that's what I wanted, the underlying message of what my opinion was. And you got it out in way better words than I could have. What I wanted to say about the driving dirty and trophies thing is I don't think it's a Ross Chastain situation where the guy's wrecking everybody on the racetrack, race after race. I thought this year was the cleanest year Tasker had in terms of not wrecking race cars. Now, if you want to go watch every race back with me since 2013, we can do that over the offseason. We're just going to have to put a schedule together, whoever wants to do it.
and, season by season.
Chart the sliders. But no, I think some people are aggressive. I think you see it in the Outlaws. And it gets, because of where these guys grew up, it's very regionalized to where their hometowns are. In what state, like a California, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Iowa. In what they grew up racing and what is acceptable and how they race it here it's all different, right? The California guys are going to throw what we call a California slider. And I mean, let's just make Tasker's hometown California, and then I don't have to do any more explaining. I think that's a good solution for everybody.
I don't think the dirt's as good in California as it is in Iowa. I don't think that's going to work out.
I think we got the best dirt in the country by a mile.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people don't just buy our dirt and move it there. That's
hard to maintain it.
I feel like there might be some worldly science behind that, like how weather patterns go. But no, I just thought that was interesting. Maybe that wasn't as big of a deal. That was like the big text on, or the big tweet on Sunday. And I was kind of in an airport, so.
I think with Tony spending much time as he has building his team and spending his money, I feel like he thought he had a pretty good shot to win. And those come very few and far between in the 360 class. And when you have somebody like that doesn't, from maybe not respect your equipment or something like that, you're definitely going to take defensive action for it. And Tony works hard, and he's definitely put a lot of resources in too, and Tasker has too. So I mean, you're just going to have that sometimes, and that's unfortunately just what's happening for a win, and both guys wanted to win, and one's going to do it, and one guy's not going to win. So
I should say too that Tony is a fantastic guy, and everything you just said, basically, he's been awesome to us. Good buddies with my buddy Drunk Dingus. And if you come up to me in Knoxville and ask me who he is, I won't. I'm not telling you. Stop doing it, please. But yeah, like my whole thing coming into this thing was I'm not trying to take a side, and I think I backed myself into a side, and I didn't even go around the circle. So I like Tony. I think he's a great racer. He has every right to be upset. It's just a deal that happens. I will say, if I had a bunch of trophies, I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't care how I got them. I took that line, but I thought it was a good line at the same time.
Yeah. Go cry. You can go cry to my trophies, I guess, or something like that, or whatever how that people say it.
All right. Well, yes. 30 years down the road, is anyone going to ask, what slider did you make to do that one?
Well, I think it was Danny Hamlin said.
Maybe, right?
Danny Hamlin said one time when he won at Pocono, they go cry his rock or whatever, or go boo his rock.
So what popped in my head was Tony Schatz saying that
boo my trophies.
His mom and your mom to win a championship.
Yeah, go boo my trophies, I guess. So.
Yes, sir.
Stop doing it now, he says.
Stop talking. My roommate's talking in the podcast.
You're the one.
I had a dog in the last podcast. Now I got you. This is ridiculous.
You're the one that's
Justin Grant won the. Shut up. Jesus Christ. Justin Grant won a major on a broken foot, which I would have put this at the top, and I probably just should have moved it. I started with the wing sprint cars, so sorry. But okay, my first question. I don't think we understand how hard it is to win a race on a broken foot. And I say that as the guy with the broken leg. It's got to be hurting him. He's still on crutches on the boot, which means he definitely isn't supposed to be racing a non-wing sprint car with or without the boot. I just think this is one of the most badass stories of the year, and it kind of gets swept under things a little bit. I shouldn't say because it's USAC, because that's not right. But there's some comments and people calling each other out about comments made about USAC, and I want to get to that and SmackDown and everything in Kokomo, and but I just think it's super badass that this guy. We saw it. What stuck out to me about his character was in that Chili Bowl documentary, and how many times he's been so close and shit hits the fan, and sometimes it's a mistake he made, the checkered flag, thinking a white flag was the checkered or whatever it was, and how much adversity he's dealt with. He's won a USAC Triple Crown. And now he won a race on a broken foot. Like, I think this is the not biggest win of his career, but the most impressive in my eyes for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if there ever was a Iron Heart, award or something like that, I'd definitely go to him. I mean, it definitely takes big kahunas to strap into a sprint car when you're injured, and especially with a broken foot. I remember it was like the next night or the night after he broke his foot, they were trying to get him in the car with hand controls for the brake and gas or whatever, and he couldn't feel comfortable enough. So I mean, especially in the non-only sprint car, because they use the brake and the gas so much. I mean, to race with a broken foot, I mean, it's just impressive. And even getting in and out of the car and all that stuff. I mean, I know the driving part seems probably second natural, but I mean, it's got to be really difficult to do and still do good and still win. I mean, it's hard to put into words how tough it is to do that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct, and I got to stop using that "absolutely correct" comma. I do it every sentence. Ryan Tim's comments is getting to me.
Just gotta admit I'm correct all the time. That's all you're doing.
That's right. That's why we have you on here.
Yeah.
Doing it out of the kindness of his heart, people. And if you want to sponsor Always Race Day, let me know. We'd appreciate
So Connor can pay me.
Yeah, Eric is one of the 3 people that Venmoed me any money. And I don't want to shame the other people for Venmoing less than you. That was probably a bad step. But thankfully he did. Now I have to repay it back to Eric because that's just me. So I'm going to take Eric out or something. We'll figure it out. And someday we'll pay him to do this full time because I like having him, and it's my best option at this point. You're the 1A. So
yeah, that's good. Went from the bottom of the bullpen to the 1A. So look at me.
You're the only one that's ever won with my sticker on a car, and that is going to go down as the biggest accomplishment, I think, of your career if the jinxing still continues throughout what we do with the races, because it doesn't. When I don't go to the race, like Cade Higday won on Saturday. I wasn't there. You're welcome, Cade. I'll take a cut if you need. Won't skip nationals. Sorry, but no, we'll get back. Briggs Danner's wreck. Obviously, leading that race and getting into it sucks. Obviously, everyone has safety concerns with Kokomo. Briggs had the tweet. He said, "Fix it." What does it take? At this point, what does it take? Because we're proactive on things in sprint car racing sometimes that we shouldn't be proactive on, and we're reactive on things that we should be proactive on. And I really don't understand. Is it that hard to put a wall there? Like, is it going to really screw things up?
Are we talking about the opening in trim 1? Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah. Is that the only timeout? This is mostly me being an idiot and just trying to check my bases. Were there any other safety concerns aside from the fans that stood close to the fence? So I remember that one of y'all's last race there.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's probably the opening of turn 1 was probably the biggest one because that's where you're carrying the most speed at. And having an wall opening in the corner, a race car is going to find it, even though people don't.
It is that. That's where that wreck happened. Yeah. That is what. Yeah, that's what the.
Yeah, but he missed the wall though. I don't think he hit it that hard.
Yes, he did. He did miss.
He just flipped over it. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an engineer. It's. You don't want cars to be in the infield because then there's much risk of people having a bunch of people in the infield. That's basically how wild Kokomo is.
Angle the back chute, and so the back chute wall in the opening. He's in a straight on head. You're angling it there.
Unless you put a gate in, but that's going to have some padding into it.
Well, in Houston's with the gates.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to have a gate.
Sorry, Houston. I'm really crapping. We got a bad tendency here.
Yeah, you don't have a, conspiracy theory with the gates, but I don't know. I mean, can't really just put hay bales or tires because that doesn't really do anything. I mean, they're just going to have to redesign it a little bit, but that's going to cost them a bunch of money, and tracks probably don't have money to do that type of work. And I don't know. I mean, if they seem to be happy with what they got so far, and I mean, if they should change it for safety, if it's definitely something the drivers are complaining about. But again, they're not, the drivers aren't the ones fitting the bill of it, but the driver could be the one fitting the bill if they get hurt because of it. So
yeah, and that's the thing too that sucks is that I guarantee Briggs pissed about it. I guarantee he feels strongly about it now because if it was any different, he could have lost his life, gotten hurt, et cetera, et cetera. Everyone else wasn't close to that, right? So they kind of walk away going, and this is the, I guess, confirmation of human bias. I'm probably not using that correct, and I'm probably merging two things together. So take it for what you will. But if you weren't close to it, you didn't think about it, you walk away fine. Yeah, Briggs Danner wrecked, and it was close, and he's okay. And we're thankful for that, and everyone's glad that it happened the way it did. And people could be, those same people are yeah, I think this should change. We should get rid of this gap in the fence going into one. They care less about it than Briggs Danner does. You know, it takes like guys standing up and saying something sometimes. And I think that's what we got here. And I don't know if my voice has any impact, just pretend I did my rant from earlier on this and needs to change, et cetera, with the same passion I did 20 minutes ago. But it's, you know, that's just what it is. Like, we got to have other drivers speak out besides the ones that it almost happened to. Because if it's just those guys, we're not getting anything done ever. Like it's just going to keep going. I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's either going to be drivers just going to have to get together and say something. I mean, Kokomo's a pretty big track for him. Not big in size, but big as far as racing and races and purse for him to race for. But it's just going to take a group of drivers to say something and work with the track and figure out a solution that's going to be happy for both parties.
It's my favorite track in the World of Outlaws video game. I'll say that. And that gap is not in the fence there. Maybe I don't go up there. I should say it like that. I go right down low. No, so next point of this is still about USAG. It's still about the Kokomo SmackDown. So I was talking to Glenn Saville, the reigning 12th place finisher of the Queen's Royal on Saturday night over there. And he told me he didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to come on the show because he got 12th. And I told him no one remembers 12th. It's okay. So shout out to Glenn, 12th place. Decent for his wing sprint car debut this year. I told him to put a wing on it all year and go to Knoxville. He said he doesn't like it. But he told me that SmackDown for USAC is their biggest race of the year. And my buddies went on a hike Friday. I called him. I was talking about it. That's how it came up. And it dawned on me, like, I know November's big for USAC. I feel like the Turkey Night Grand Prix is like the big USAC race, but it's a midget race. And I'm kind of sitting there thinking, like, I guess they have sprint week, and that's 7 races. And it's tough to put the events in this series into like the major category. But I wanted to ask you, because I don't know. Glenn is of the opinion that SmackDown is the biggest race of the USAC season. I've never thought about it like that, but I completely get where he's coming from.
Yeah, I feel like it gets overshadowed by the Wingwit races, but I think that is their biggest race of the year because I think it pays the most, I think.
I think it does pay the most.
Yeah. So, I mean, usually the races pay the most is probably their biggest race. So, yeah, and I mean, with the non-wing guys, it seems like Kokomo is kind of like their track to race at, their track that's the most raciest for them and fits the non-wing sprint cars the most. So, yeah, I feel like and that's kind of how the USAC schedule is too. It seems like there's off and on there's races and there's not races. So, I I would say that, or like the BC 39 started to gain a little bit more traction, but it's kind of hard to race sprint cars there and be like a marquee event. So
yeah, and I'd put the midget race for sure there.
Yeah.
As a big one, and the whole weekend's a major. When you have it like that, and it's completely okay to say that. And we're going to get into a late model talk in a sec. We're talking about the same damn thing. Trust me. So you don't want to split hairs, especially like the funny thing is the late models have the issue of there's too many, and USAC probably has the issue of there's not enough. But I was talking to Glenn about it, and he doesn't see the social media side and the word that gets out, and I see it all through social media. I don't even we're not even talking about the radio ads or the local advertisement tracks and teams do, which I've been the positions I've had in my life. I don't think I've seen a number from ever on any of those. And sometimes I kind of forget about them and think they don't matter at all. But I hear more about Indiana Sprint Week and Indiana Midget Week every year by the country thousandth of people than I do about Kokomo SmackDown. And I think that's an issue. If that's your biggest race, I think you got to promote it more than what you're doing. And I could give them ideas, I guess, but it's kind of just doing it. I hear way more about Sprint Week and Midget Week, and it could be just because it's 7 races against 1. But other series that have had, when the All-Stars had the Tuscarora 50, that wasn't an issue at all. So I don't know. He's opening the floor to Eric. He has. Oh. No, you're good. It's okay. It is tough for us because Eric's on a 1 second delay here. So earlier we talked over each other, and then he was making sure I wasn't pausing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it needs to be promoted more if that's your biggest race.
Yeah.
Call it a major. That's what people should do, is call it a major. It doesn't have to be a crown jewel. But if you want to use crown jewel, that's fine. Now, let's talk about late models. Not every race weekend can we have a crown jewel. The definition of a crown jewel means it's a very big event that stands apart from the rest. We cannot have a crown jewel from every Saturday from Memorial Day to Labor Day. That's not how it works. That's just country club pool season. Okay. I'm glad we've now entered the place where everyone else is at. And sprint car fans hear this. I have late model friends that I'm sure they're sitting there going, yes, you're exactly right. This is weird. And it really isn't like the smart late model fan. Now I'm calling everyone else dumb, so that sucks too. But 5 majors. That's what I'm going to limit to 5 majors, maybe 6, maybe 7. I'm going to make exceptions. But
it's still a lot.
You can't have the Hillbilly 100 can't be a crown jewel race. The Topless 100 cannot be a crown jewel race. If the common diehard dirt late model fan that I'm buddies with, and his name is Dylan. You guys go through my Twitter list, figure out which Dylan I'm talking about, and you can go crap in his pants. If he can't tell me why they take the tops off of damn race cars for the Topless 100, it's not a crown jewel. It's not a major. I cede the floor to Eric.
Yeah. Still having 5 or 6 or 7, that's still a lot. So
that's what we're in the business of. We just tell the casuals it's a big event. That's all we're trying to do.
Can't disrespect the hillbillies like that. Jeez, not calling a crown jeweler.
I'm not hillbilly enough to say I'm with them. You're absolutely right. I was a country
or the North-South 100 or the Topless 100 or whatever.
Bobby Pierce has made sure that race isn't going to be a major anytime soon if he keeps winning everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, having that many, big paint races and calling a crown jewel, it's a lot. For me, for a late model crown jewel is probably the World 100 and the
Dream.
The Dream, and those are the 2.
No, we can't just have 2. That is also against. And my third is the PDC.
Wait, that's it.
From the atmosphere this year.
Yeah.
Very recency bias.
but it only pays $50,000. I don't know how much the Dream and the World 100 paid. I mean, I don't know. Just because that's the two races that, if you heard about late model racing, that's the two that you heard about all the time was the Dream and the World, and the others are just races. So
if I told you that Live Golf was starting a new schedule next year, and the two biggest events were going to be at the same course, with the same format, with the same golfers, do you think that'd be a little weird?
Yeah, but it's a little bit different because both of them have history, and that's something new. So
Yeah.
I mean, I say they had about 360 and 410 nationals.
Oh, you asshat.
So I mean, if you want to throw that out there,
Cars are different.
No, they're not.
The lap times are a second off.
That's a second. That's it.
Yeah,
Everything else is the same.
That's a large amount of time in racing.
I mean, it's a little bit different just because they have history between the two. I mean, Live Golf, that's if you did that example. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you had a different format, which I don't know if the Dream in the World does, but
I dream of
I
a
don't know.
dirt late model Dream without that stupid ass wheel.
I just want that globe. I just want the trophy of the globe on it, so you can spin the globe.
They are pretty damn cool
The old school one. The new school one's okay, but the old school one's better. When actually the globe spins.
So my biggest goal of next year will be getting to the World 100 or the PDC.
I would say PDC, just
I
because
haven't been to either. Well, I want to get to both. I don't know which one I want to get to more.
I don't know. There's just something about a small town in Illinois that, I mean, you can say the same thing about Ohio that explodes with people, but
dude, the crowd that got a 3-hour drinking break, everyone went out and did their part and got their beers and came back in the 50 lap announcement to the crowd. So it didn't even sound that loud on the TV. And one of my buddies that was there texted me and goes, I hope you could hear that. That was easy. You could hear it down the street is what he said.
Yeah.
And that just stuck out. Like if you're saying like, oh, maybe that one's a crown jewel. No, it's there, man. That's a major, and
for the crowd to make that much noise
you can have quite a few,
and I get it. Come the track.
Yeah, you got 2 national tours that have been established for years now, so there's bound to be more.
Yeah,
but it can't be we can't have run every weekend. It just doesn't work like that. I'm glad the races have names, because I did complain a few years ago with the Outlaws, and I'm like, call it the Outlaws Showdown or some shit like that. And they went and did it, and now I'm annoyed that every race is the city name Showdown. And they definitely didn't take it from me. I did say it, but yeah, it's just funny. We bitch about mundane things in dirt racing, but it's not arguing about everyone knows that Kansas State, Iowa State is called Farmageddon and what day the uniform reveal comes out. So at least our mundane arguments, I feel like, have a little bit more purpose. The 3 people that will get that aren't listening to the show.
Nope.
No, not at all. Josh Richards is back with the Rocket One team on the late model side of things. I think everyone's super happy he's back. They had that fire, and then the Eldora dirt kind of took his head out. Like, I don't know how to phrase that one. Injured he got a dirt from mud clump that hit him directly in the helmet, took him out of the car, and forced him into retirement for a few years. And now he's back in the car that he dominated in the years when I was first learning what the World of Outlaws late models were. So really cool for him. One, really cool for me, because I just like seeing history, and I'm not trying to insert myself in it. But the World 100 is next week.
Yep, I think so.
It is. It's all eyes ahead on that. I don't think you even talk about where they're racing this weekend. We'll see. They'll be fine. I'll be watching Josh Richards and see how he does. I think everyone else has. There's some teams that are like bringing their World 100 cars out this weekend. I'm shocked. I would not want to bend up the body tails. They probably got.
No, they're used to that. They probably have down to a science. It's not like it's Knoxville, though. It's not like it's Knoxville is giving away the best appearing car or something like that. Maybe there is a best appearing car. I don't know.
Well, shoot, guys, sprint car purses are going up.
Yeah, late model has
on the side.
Well, they have like 15 races that pays like $50,000 or more, so I think they're doing okay.
They do, yeah.
Yeah,
just can't call them all crazy rules. Bobby Pierce won over the weekend. I was crutching 2 miles. My friends went on bar crawl. A couple of them stayed and walked with me. And then we'd get to the bar and they'd walk 17 tables past the first table. And that was just, you're at the finish line. Now there's a new finish line. And that happened a couple of times. So I couldn't get drunk enough to be a Bobby Pierce fan. So I didn't see anything about it. Do you have any vibes going into this week and the World 100 being next week?
It's Jonathan Davenport's race to lose, probably, if no one else can beat him there. He seems to have that place not locked down when it gets that slick and slow and all that. So,
and I'd say Jonathan beats Bobby Pierce easy.
Yeah,
I screwed up the Tasker thing earlier, so now I got to put my.
I think this happened at the Dream? Does Bobby pull in or does Bobby run his tire to go flat like he did there and try to bolt it on and then try to pass them all again?
I think we'll know in the first 15, 20 laps. What Bobby does is you'll be able to tell if he's really going. I'll say really going ham. I'll put out there that I was in middle school in 2009. So, and you can really tell when he's doing that in the races that he's not. I should say it like that. When he's not really going up to the cushion, when he's not throwing it in and making moves to get around guys, and it kind of feels like it's a line of people, they're saving their tires is what they're doing. Now, Jonathan Davenport, on the other hand, is elite at finding the middle line where you're going to go fast enough that you're faster and you're going to go slow enough that you're not burning tires. And you can get around the track. Well, I'll say it a million times that him lapping up to 5th in the Eldora Million was one of the biggest racing accomplishments that doesn't get talked about enough and didn't get talked about enough that night. No one made a big deal about it. That was, I'd call it legendary. I don't know. I'm sure there's been people that have done it, but seeing a guy in the modern day lap up to 5th is crazy. And you have to give him, based on resume and recent performance, you have to give him the edge over Pierce, even though it's probably Pierce, Davenport, Thornton Jr. In late models across the board. And Thornton's program's gotten better at Eldora. That's the other storyline I'm interested in. And I know we're kind of doing a World 100 preview now, which the last couple of weeks we've forgotten to do previews whatsoever. So you guys are welcome. You're kind of getting extra credit from us. But I'm looking at where RTJ's pace is at early, where he ends up starting. And then I'm going to watch the 32, the first 10, 15, 20 laps, not because I could probably just text him and see what his plan is and then go from there. I don't know if I can let you guys know. That might be a journalistic error on my opinion. But so I'll be watching the 32, the first 10, 15 laps, and we'll see where he goes. I don't know, that wheel screws shit up. I'll say that. Davenport could start 18th. You guys come crying back to me when Davenport's starting 18th. How about that?
Yeah, that'll be fine when he still wins for 18th.
You think so?
I don't know. He's got the speed for it.
He does. I mean, you'd need 2 cautions, I think.
Yeah.
For him and how quick.
Which would probably be Pierce 30 laps in when he blows his right rear tire, gets a new one, and try to pass the field again.
Yeah, that's how it would go. it'd probably be the car not working right, and he spins out and takes out 3 or 4 other people, and really makes it look bad on himself, like the PDs.
And they make their adjustments, and then they put him back out there.
So I texted him and asked what happened. He had to have texted me the same thing he texted like his engine guy. It was abbreviated like shit didn't fucking work, this, that. And I texted him right back and didn't hear anything for 2 hours. And he's like, yeah, man, real bullshit. But obviously, thank you for taking the time, Bobby. We'll have you on here anytime. We actually do really need Bobby to pass Tasker for most appearances on at least this show. We can't have Tasker winning infield beers in this show. And I don't think Tasker, he might not have been on here once. So I don't know. I'll have to go back and check. I don't really have a running list or anything. Someday we'll start that. I'm hopeful we get big enough where there's like some kid sitting around not doing anything, and he wants to chart the guests that we've had on here. Which would be super funny because I think there's some lost audio files on some episodes we've done too. But yeah, no, solid show, Eric. Appreciate you for coming on.
For sure.
You got anything else? You good?
You're not going to talk about shots to the 57W?
Oh, fuck. Thank you.
Goodness.
Yeah, no, we are not done. No, I didn't do either of them. I had Jason Myers too.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, guys. God damn it. Donny Schatz it's in the title.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Well, I was typing it and I was like, Donny Schatz is going to the 57W. It's a big, it's Donny Schatz, right?
The one interesting thing I found was that the Outlaws were the one that broke the news, not the Kyle McFadden for Flow Racing. So I think they got tired of Kyle breaking the news and told Donny they got to tell Outlaws to break the news on that. So
hey, Kyle, absolute king. You're going around and doing breaking stories.
Yeah.
The stupid shit on the Iowa State beat was always that we knew stuff and it'd be on premium. Some people would know stuff. Some people wouldn't tell the writers at the company that they knew stuff, which in turn just made everything harder, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's enough to talk about that. But props to you, Kyle. Seriously, like super nice guy.
Doing nice work.
Shared a hotel room with him at Bristol a few years back, and he is the hardest working motherfucker. All these stories, like this is, if you think it takes long to write the essays you wrote in school, he's doing 5 times the work on every story than what you did in high school. It's not in a book that you got to look at. It's in people you got to call and people you got to convince to talk to you sometimes. And he's seriously done a bang up job. Screw the Outlaws breaking that news. What the fuck?
I don't know if that's the case or not, but
I'm not. Everyone that I've MF'd in this episode should, if you're offended by that, my God.
I do feel like
I love all of them.
It was very ironic that the Outlaws did an article to break the news, and it wasn't Kyle. So even though he did a really good job with the first couple breaking news with him switching rides and all that, so
it's kind of sounds like that you're kind of putting Kyle down. Are you saying he has lost his fastball?
No, I'm just saying that the Outlaws got offended because he works for Flow Racing, and and they want the ones to break the news. This is their driver, their Outlaw driver. So
I can't imagine in this year in media, and to some maybe a sprint car driver out there, the word clickbait, not a thing. We don't get paid for clicks. We're redesigning our website. We're reinventing the wheel on our website. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I send people to the YouTube right now because that's where you get our content. And all these are here and all these are live. We don't make any money off anyone that clicks on one of our articles. And there could be an account out there with $17 in it. Might be 37. We don't make a single. I can't imagine that the clicks would be any money any money factor for the Outlaws. But as I'm now saying it, it sounds like a dick measuring contest, and that sounds exactly like what someone on one side might get mad at. Yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks for leading me on the path,
Yeah.
Eric.
You're
Sometimes I'm slower. I love how that worked out. I hate the W. Can I say that? I hate that the car is the number W. I think it looks cool on the car. Explaining it to my buddies, they laughed at Spencer Basin.
Everybody made a big toughie about it last year because Larson wasn't in it. Because it was a 57 car, even though it's a different owner.
It's a W.
Yeah.
Gary Madsen's in the 15S. They didn't even change the number font. They put a piece of tape there like every other sprint car team.
Don't even think there's a piece of tape on it. It's just still 15 on it.
It's, yeah.
Get the W out, baby.
I hate seeing a singular letter. I wish it was.
Yeah. I think it looked cool. But still, people asked why it looked like Kyle Larson's car. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So
yeah, it's surprising. So how many years I've been here, and when I got there, it was explained to me. But I still have people ask about that car.
Oh, yeah.
I had one asked 2-3 weeks ago that she's is it Linda Vesper? Her last name is Vesperman, I think. I believe she's Australian. She might not be. She might just be here. She tweets us about Kerry Madsen like every time he races. It's the funniest, like the cutest thing that she always asks about Kerry. And it could be any mundane race, and she'll tweet us. And do you know what happened to Kerry? Anything irregular, probably on the Dirt Vision broadcast that she can't see, or the My Race Pass app. And she always tweets us. And she was asking me what that car is about and who owns it and stuff. So it's Kevin Kozlowski.
Yeah, I think so.
It's something close to that.
Works Limited, I think it is.
Yeah, Works Limited is his company. Yeah. It's called the Works Limited 57 is their title name for it.
Yeah.
And it was the 57W, and yeah, now they call it a W. So it's cool to see Donny in it.
Yeah.
When we were talking last week about interesting combos, I think Donny Schatz and Paul Silva is the most interesting you could get.
Yeah, for somebody who doesn't run West Coast very well, it's going to be very interesting to see if Donny can do well or even win. So I am really looking forward to see how that combination goes, especially how fast-paced it was out of the gate with that car.
This is on the Californians that call the rest their state. I don't need to say the word that starts with P on the Always Race Day podcast, but I'm not even doing like a liberal conservative thing. The Californians, if Donny Schatz wins, you better burn the place down. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see how fast you are at the gate, but I think I read from the release that Paul was already texting them, asking how much he weighs and all that, and doing that. So probably just Paul Silva doing Paul Silva things and kind of make the magic work with Donny.
Yeah, it'll make like a half-inch difference on the tire he pulls out of the dumpster for it.
Yeah, that was probably ran at the Saturday night of the Gold Cup that got resurfaced somehow.
The other driver move for this week is the races that Corey Day is not going to be in the 14 car. It'll be Darren Pittman, Trey Starks, or Justin Sanders. And I don't think that's like on a 3 base. I think they figured out schedules who's going to race when.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be a 3-person announcement. But I stayed off my phone for the majority of the thing, and someone texted me that right before the show. So shout out to them. I think it was yesterday. But that's, I don't know, good for all 3 of those guys.
Yeah, still staying on the Highland and still getting their charter. So be interesting to see if they are fast or not.
This is something Justin Feeler brought up on his show, but you get that charter and you can sell it.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a point to run for it, whether you're going to run there or not. afterwards. I don't know. Do you think Roth got the short end of the stick not running high limit this year?
No, because they're what third in outlaw points.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should have taken their car off the Outlaws tour, but
gotcha.
not running the second car for
Second
high
car?
limit to secure that charter.
I don't think it really matters with them. I mean, that's their deal.
And so now I have people that ask me
Yeah.
about this too. Is
I think
what
they got
charters
enough
are
money.
available.
Yeah.
I think it's the top 10 now. The 4 guys, the 4 teams that have secured the charter are securely in the top 5. They're staying there. I think the other 6 go to the other 6 teams in the top 10 of the owner standings. So that's the easiest way to look at it. I think that will help a lot of people.
Yeah, I think they still have opportunity to race for it next year to get into that system.
There's something. There was definitely adjustments that were supposed to be made, and I don't think we've had.
I don't think it's been finalized yet, unfortunately.
I think whatever the last update we got to had a lot of paragraphs in it, and I'm not going to not read them, but I remember reading them and going, "This is not done yet," which is okay. Do what you can when you can, how you can. But at some point it's got to get done. So whatever that may be, we'll see. I'll ask around. I will ask that after the show ends. So I forgot Donny Schatz. Did I forget any other big news?
No, I think that's it. I'm ready to go to bed, so I think we better call it a night.
I forgot to say I saw the Dale Jr. Budweiser tribute commercial before we came on, and I watched the whole thing and I cried.
Yeah,
I was having a shitty day, and I was like, "Wow, it's gonna be a good show." And I was completely wrong. I forgot to mention that, so maybe I jinxed myself twice on the same episode. So, love all of you, even the ones I guess put down probably.
Sorry, sneeze in your ears.
Oh, well, it wasn't mine, so that's
but to the listeners, sorry.
It's okay. The episode last week, we had a dog in the background the entire time, the asphalt show. So they're used to it. Audio will be. I have my podcast mic now, so that is now in my possession, and we'll use it next time we're on here, hopefully. So
nice.
Thank you guys for listening. Thanks to Chris Weiser. Appreciate him. Please reach out if you're at all interested in sponsoring us. I have so many different options of pricing and different things. Like no matter how little you're thinking, it does help us a lot. It does add up, and we will make something happen for the right price. And in that, little as $100, I will put that number out there. I suppose that I'd be willing to. Here, we're going to put this here, put this there, and it's not like we have like a finite amount of space or anything like that. But if you're wondering at all and interested at all in sponsoring, excuse me, just let me know. Reach out on Twitter. All my stuff's there. I think my email's in my pinned tweet on like the 4th photo. It limits your bio, all that BS, right? If you're looking for shirts, I haven't sent our list to Ryan Levitt yet, so we're working on that too, and that'll be up soon. That's all I got. You good, Eric?
All good.
I always ask Eric, and always all good, even when he was racing. Yeah, just another race, Connor. It's all same thing. I love it. All right, love you guys. See you next week.
See ya.